What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Expanded Thursday, and like I said last week, this week we are covering the Seismitoad Decidueye-GX, or aka the most hyped deck coming out of Sun and Moon for the expanded format. Now, last week we covered Seismitoad Crobat. At first, I was like, yo, Seismitoad Crobat is probably a million times better, but when I started testing the deck out, I was like, man, this deck's actually pretty decent. It's actually somewhat really good. The big difference between this deck and last deck is we don't play super scoop ups, so you can't pick up damaged Seismitoads. But out of turn 1, you can start doing 20 damage, and then you can start doing 20 damage, and then you can start doing 20 damage, like just out of nowhere. And it becomes a really strong deck. Stronger than I thought it was for sure. But let's go over this deck and let's see what's it about before I start freaking out even more. So 3 Seismitoad-EX. Quick Punch is 30, your opponent can play 80 cards from their hand, and that's going to be our main attacker. We don't play any water energies, so we can't Grenade Hammer. We are playing grass energies instead. But our new guy is going to be Decidueye-GX. He has the ability Feather Arrow. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah, this is for each Decidueye. So we only play a 4-3-3, which I think is fine. 4-4 seems pretty, that's a lot. You could play it, but I don't see the need to really, don't get me wrong. 4 Decidueye doing 80 damage every turn seems broken, but, it's not going to happen. It could be in there for, luxury reasons, but I think 4-3-3 is fine. At Crobat, we only played a 4-3-3, so I kept the same lineup between here and there. And that's always been fine at Crobat. The most you ever need is 2 to 3 Decidueyes. But Decidueye has a cool attack as well, and this is where it starts becoming a better attacker than Crobat and Golbat. He has the attack Razor Leaf. It does 90 damage for a grass and a DC. And he also has a really cool attack called Hollow Hunt GX. Put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. You can't use more than 1 GX attack in a game. So not only does he have a pretty decent attack, it could be an in-gamer, you just retreat Decidueye, or you just switch out a Seismitoad Decidueye, hit for 90, take it a knockout, you're good to go. With 3 Decidueyes, you're doing plus 60, so you can do 150 plus a Quick Punch for following turn to do 180. And you can see why Decidueye-GX might be a better backup attacker than Golbat and Crobat, which is why I think he's actually better overall. The ability is really good, don't get me wrong, and the Hollow Hunt GX is broken as well, because you get any 3 cards out of your discard pile. So you can grab 2 DCs, 3 DCs, 3 VS Seekers, a DC, 2 VS Seekers, whatever you need, you got it with Decidueye, which is fantastic. But remember, you can only use it once per game, or you can only use 1 GX per game. That's the big thing right there. So 4-3-3, like I said. Dartrix has Sharp Blade Quill. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, and Leaf Blade 50, and if heads, do 20 more damage. And then Rowlet Tackle 10, Leaf Edge 20, and of course, like always, 2 Shaymin and 1 Jirachi. Now you could make a 1-1, that's fine. You can make 1-1 and play 1 Rowlet, 1 Dartrix, sorry. But you definitely need Shaymin and Jirachi. If you're in a bad situation and you need a supporter card, you definitely grab Jirachi. If you're digging for more stuff, we grab for Shaymin. They both go hand in hand depending on the situation, and that's going to be all the Pokemon in our deck. We're going to play 1 Computer Search for search for any card in our deck, 2 Level Ball, and 4 Ultra Ball. This should just help us get the turn 1 Decidueye. With 6 draw supporter cards, supporter Pokemon, we're good to go. Level Ball can get you a Jirachi, Dartrix, or a Rowlet, which is really good, because Level Ball can essentially get you a supporter card for the turn. 2 Revitalizer, which might somewhat be an overkill, but I'm so scared of discarding our grass fellows and not getting them back later, and that's why I kind of want 2 Revitalizers. Let's say you have a Revitalizer hand plus some grass Pokemon, and you have to Juniper all the way, well, you can't get them back later because Revitalizer has discarded them. Maybe 2 Revitalizers too much, but right now I think that's fine with just a 2 during testing stages. 1 Super Rod to get back 3 Pokemon and or energies depending on the situation. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, 4 Forest of Giant Plants, and that's how we're gonna get our Decidueyes out ASAP. And this is where the supporter cards get kind of weird. 2 AZ, which might seem why do you play 2 AZ? Well, the biggest deck in Expanded right now is going to be Seismitoad Decidueye. It's hyped. Everybody loves the deck. So what you could do is, against the mirrors, you license up a Decidueye because it has a 2 retreat cost, and they're kind of stuck there, and they don't find a way to retreat. But with 2 AZ, you can pick it up back ASAP. You can also pick up damage Pokemon on your bench, like if they start sniping your Jirachis or Shaymins because they're heavy damage, well, you can just easy back in your hand, that's fine. One Colress, because you're going to have a big bench, because you're going to have Dartrixes and Seismitoads, you're good to go. One Karen, to shuffle all Pokemon back into their deck. So not only do we have a Revitalizer, not only do we have Super Rod, we have Karen as well. So I think definitely the 2 Revitalizer might be overkill, but Karen is definitely going to be for Night March. If you can Karen, or Vesqueen, if you can Karen and put all your opponent's Pokemon cards back in their deck, you pretty much just auto win with the Quake Punch, because now they can use Ultra Balls and all that stuff that they need to. 2 Lysandre, bring a Pokemon off the bench. 3 in, 4 Juniper, 1 Team Flare Grunt to discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, once again for the mirror. With the AZ plus Team Flare Grunt and plus Xerosic, you have a lot of options to actually help beat the mirror. You have 1 Xerosic, discard a tool or specialty card in play on a Pokemon, yours or your opponent's, so you can discard a DCE or whatever with this guy. Team Flare Grunt, discard a DCE, and you can see how you can start beating the mirror match and have a better advantage. I know some lists are playing like Trainer's Mail and some other cute stuff like Super Scoop Ups and stuff like that, but we're not going to go for that. We're going for the more consistent and help to try to beat the mirror. 2 Fury Belt, 2 Float Stone, 4 DC, and 3 Grass. The Grass is definitely just for Decidueye to use the Hollow Hunt and or Rage Relief if needed. And there we go. There's my Decidueye Seismitoad deck list. I think this list is really strong. We play against 2 different very interesting matchups in this deck. One that's an auto win and one that's an auto loss. And I show how to beat both those decks with this deck. Later on in the video, I go why this deck still has bad matchups in some situations. And it's going to be interesting to see how this deck is going to play out in St. Louis, because that is our next big expanded tournament that has Sun and Moon in it. Next up is going to be Anaheim, but that's standard with Sun and Moon. So we'll have our first expanded Sun and Moon stuff for United States. I'm not sure about other countries. I do apologize for that. But we'll see our first big one for Sun and Moon in St. Louis. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let's see this deck in action. Alright, so playing against Danos, playing a Steel, Psychic, Lightning, and a Colorless deck. There's a Mega Mewtwo, there's a Mega Mewtwo coin, but I don't really see Mega Mewtwo and expanded too much, so they're going to choose who goes first, and of course, oh, we're going to go first. Alright, so they're playing Night March. Alright, so we got Ultra Ball, we got a Team Flare Grunt and a Juniper in our hand. We keep on the active Seismitoad if we want to. Or we can grab a Rowlet and put a Grass Energy on that guy. Alright, so there's a Mew. Oh, there's a Rowlet right there. So put down Rowlet, Ultra Ball, discard a Team Flare Grunt and a Juniper to get another Rowlet. Okay. And what I'm going to do is put a Grass Energy on one of these. It could go on a Seismitoad, but I'd rather put on a Rowlet and then via Seeker for a Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. And this is just in case our Seismitoad does get knocked out next turn. So there's a Love Ball, a No Force, unfortunately. We'll put a Float Stone on the active, put a Fighting Force on the active as well, and we'll pass on to our opponent's turn. But next we have a DC you can put on the Seismitoad. We can put a Love Ball for a Dartrix, Shaymin set up for some more cards, and there's a DC going to the active. Now we do have the Team Flare Grunt. We could try to dig that with a VS Seeker. There's a Juniper discarding 1 Lampent. There's a Fighting Force going to the active, give it 40 more HP. A Battle Compressor, go discard 3 Lampent, so they have 4 in the discard pile. Doing 80 right now. There's an Ultra Ball, go discard a Jirachi and teammates, most likely grabbing a Shaymin. Alright, so things are going to start picking up here in a second for sure. They do have to do 220 damage, which is 11 Night Marches discarded. So Dimension Valley come down, Shaymin going to start 5 new cards. The Dimension Valley coming down is really good for us because we can counter that and have 1 less Dimension Valley play. So Shaymin is setting up for a bunch of new stuff. And let's see, what does our opponent get here? Just a Quake Punch for 40 damage. Alright, so on our turn, we are going to put a DC on the active. We can't use our Love Balls anymore because he Quake Punched us. He can only do 80 next turn. So what I'm doing is just going to Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. We do get rid of 2 Level Balls. Alright. And right now, we're just going to Quake Punch for our own 40 damage. Now, what we can do next turn is he might go for a Quake Punch, or he could go for a Knockout. He has to do 180. It's going to be kind of hard with 4 Night Marches in the discard pile. But what we could do is put down Rowlet, Seismitoad, and the Colress for a bunch of new cards. They receive a Sycamore, discarding 5 Night Marchers or 100 damage. Still not doing it too much right now, so I'm not too scared. Um, I think we're still okay. So another Quake Punch for 40 damage. We have 140 HP left. There is a AZ. Now we could AZ the Toad and everything, but right now I'm gonna put down a Seismitoad. I'm gonna put down a Rowlet. We could Lysandre Shaymin, but he could DCE and then retreat it, so not really useful. I'm gonna put a Grass Energy on a Toad, and then I'm gonna Colress for 6 new cards. Alright, so let's see, what do we find? We found a Dartrix, a Float Stone, so put down Dartrix, and we'll go for another Quake Punch for 40. Next turn is when he can he Night March for knockout next turn? Let's see, how many he needs to do 140, 4, 5, only 100 right now, so that's not enough. And if he takes a knockout, we'll be able to send him Dartrix, Float Stone, one of our other Rowlets, put down the Decidueye, start putting some damage on the field. And we could get 3 Decidueyes down next turn, hypothetically, and knock out this guy. No, go to Sky Return for 40 damage. Now, this is fine. He's going to send probably the Joltik, but we're going to just put down Decidueye. We will Float Stone a Rowlet, and we are going to put our opponent down to 6. We'll get 6 as well. But can we draw some good cards? There's a Rowlet, a Decidueye. Okay, this hand's not the greatest for sure. Put down a Dartrix. We will put down Force of Giant Plants. Put down a Seismitoad DCE. And what I'm going to do is Feather Arrow, then active, and then Quake Punch. Oh no, I did that wrong. I should put the 20 on Pumpkaboo and then knocked out Quake Punch. That was just my fault. I thought we were only doing 30, but I mean, we do 30, we knocked out regardless. What am I thinking of? That was just a misuse of that 20 damage, unfortunately. But that's okay. I mean, he's going to sit up Shaymin. Shaymin's not going to do much. He can Sky Return for 30, but this matchup is going to be so good for us. I'm going to play with hit this Pumpkaboo for 20 and then double Dartrix next turn to knock out, or double Decidueye for knockout, so 2 Mews coming down, DCT active, we'll see Sky Return for 30 damage, and a Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. He'll have plenty of Night March in there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's another Dimension Valley coming down, we have another Force of Giant Plants in our hand, there's another Pumpkin who hit the field as well, and we'll see a Sky Return for 30 damage. Alright, so let's see who it is broke. Gonna broke the Mew. Alright, so on our turn we find a Shaymin, so put down Force of Giant Plants. We will Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards, and let's see, what do we find? We find a Dartrix. We can Ultra Ball, discard the AZ and the Xerosic to get another Decidueye on the field. We do have the other one in the discard pile, but we have a Revitalizer deck, so that's okay. We'll grab Decidueye, put that down, and let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Feather Arrow the active for 20. I'm going to Feather Arrow the active for 20. And then I'll Quake Punch for 40. And this means next turn, if we double Feather Arrow, we'll take a knockout. We'll DCE the other Toad with the Grass Energy, and we'll go for a Quake Punch. I guess we could put a DC on the Decidueye. Then we could have a 90 for the knockout whenever needed. That probably would have been a little bit smarter. I'm still learning this, but Shaymin coming down. We might see the Sky Return, DC to the active, okay. Dimension Valley coming down. Or does he be aggressive and take a knockout right now? So yeah, gonna Sky Return for another 30. Okay. Gonna promote the Shaymin, alright. So there's a VS Seeker coming down. We'll VS Seeker, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I'm gonna do is VS Seeker for an AZ. Okay. I'm going to pick up the Seismitoad, the Axe Spot, heal all that damage. We'll promote the Toad with the DC and Grass Energy. We will Feather Arrow the active, the bench Mew for 20. No, I'm going to hit up Pumpkaboos. Alright, we'll hit Pumpkaboo for 20. Hit the same Pumpkaboo for 20. And then I'll Quake Punch the active for 30. He's going to Sky Return, pick it back up, but next we can knock out this Pumpkaboo. Maybe knock out this Pumpkaboo as well the following turn. So a Mew coming down, okay, there's a DC active with his Sky Return for 30. Alright. So, 30 damage coming down. Alright, so who does he send? I'm going to send the Mew onto our turn. We find a Lysandre. Okay. So, let's see. How much damage is he doing? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doing 160 right now, which will knock us out. So right now what I'm going to do is, I'm thinking let's Feather Arrow the active. He just Sky Return next turn, but I don't really care about that too much. We'll put that down. Put that down the active. And we will VS Seeker for a Colress. Or it could VS Seeker N. But I think N's better because we know he has a DC hand. I'd rather disrupt his hand. Get the Shaymin and DC out of there. So we still haven't found a Revitalizer. We do have a Super Rod, which get back to Rowlet, which is not too big of a deal. I'm gonna put a DC on Decidueye, and I'm gonna put down Dimension Valley, put down Force Giant Plants, and I'm gonna Quake and Punch. I think that's pretty much the best way right there. We'll Quake and Punch for 30, bring it up to 70 HP. Yes, 50 left. If we get down one Decidueye plus a Quake and Punch, we can knock out. There's a DCT active. Okay, but he needs to find a Dimension Valley. He can Night March for knockout. There we go. There's the game. I mean, Night March is pretty much an easy game. We didn't find a Karen. I mean, if we eventually find a Karen, that's like an auto win for sure. But I mean, the 20 every turn is pretty nice. We didn't get all three down to do a 20 spread every turn. That was my fault the one turn when I put the 20 on the bench and not on the act. Or I put the 20 on the active at the bench. That would have been a little better for sure. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. The only downside about that game is we discarded our Decidueye. Didn't find the Revitalizer to get the other one back into our hand. But we'll see another game with the deck here in a second. We'll see what happens. Alright, so when it gets Lexian playing a grass and a water deck. Could this be a mirror match? Be really interesting because they don't play Colorless or Steel, which means no Jirachi or no Shaymins. I don't know if R shows up. I can't remember. But they won the coin flip, and let's see what is going to happen. All right, so we won the coin flip, which is great. Yes, I would like to go first. Now to our turn. Let's see what is going to happen. All right, so we get a mulligan. So lasers in Hexmaniac. Okay. Huh. Not sure what they're playing. I mean, we get another mulligan to get to see a little bit more of our deck, but I'm not sure what they're playing. So, there's a Megaphone Octillery. Alright. We start Jirachi. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It could be anybody else, but we start Jirachi? Yep, we start good old Jirachi. Thanks, Jirachi. You're the best, bud. Alright, so press done. We both put a Pokemon at the same time, which is pretty funny. So 2 Pokemon come down from him, okay. There's a Sceptile, okay. Some Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2. Grab a Seismitoad. We'll put down a Seismitoad, DCE, Force Giant Plants, and play an N. Alright, now Mega Sceptile is not affected by abilities, which is pretty bad. Alright, there's no Seismitoad and we're weak to grass. It's pretty much probably an auto loss, but we'll still play it out, see what happens. We'll play stun. On to our opponent's turn. Okay. Ugh. It's pretty bad. We're probably going to get demolished this game. So, Rim Raid coming down. Okay. There's a Fighting Fever going to the active. Now, if it's not Mega Sceptile, we might be okay. Has Jirachi does go Night Night and an N. We both get new hands of 6. Yeah, if it's not Mega Sceptile, we just might be okay. I'm still not feeling really confident though. I'm not going to lie to you though. So Grass Energy active, okay. The Furbeck City Gym come down, and we'll see a Sleep Poison for 40, 50, 67. Jirachi barely stays alive. All right, so 50, sorry. All right, so we stay asleep. This is not good. Oh no, now we stay asleep. That's not good. All right, we get that guy. We can Computer Search, discard 1 and 2 to grab a Rowlet. We'll put down Rowlet and we will Shaymin for 4 new cards. I'm looking for an AZ. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a lot of stuff actually. There's a Switch, DC. Alright, so we'll DC this guy. And we'll play it in and give both new hands of 6. Alright. So we found a Dartrix, Float Stone. I was looking for an N for next turn. Because he's probably going to take a knockout. Dartrix going down. Float Stone and a Heart Pass. Alright, so he's probably taking a knockout this turn. He just needs an Unseen Claw and he's Sleep Poison to take a knockout. But how do we handle this guy? That is the question. How can we beat this deck? I don't know. So not a Grass Energy, a Herbal Energy. Town Map, going to see his prize cards. Okay. Interesting. I mean, what we could do is Lysandre the Remoraid, if he evolves this turn, has a 2 tree cost, and we Quake a Punch while doing damage to the Sceptile. It's not the best thing, but it's better than nothing, right? I think we have to somewhat try. So if you were going to the Spin Rack, Sycamore, I hope he gets an Octillery without a Float Stone. That is the key right now. If he could do that, we're good to go. Another Sceptile hit the bench. Sceptile come down as well. Okay. Love Ball for an Octillery. Please grab an Octillery, but just don't Float Stone it. Just Octillery, no Float Stone. There it is. It has a 2 retreat cost, which will take 2 turns to retreat, obviously. So the Octillery come down. No Float Stone, please, sir. Please do not have a Float Stone. I beg of thee, do not have thou Float Stone. So I have very exceeded gym coming down, which is okay. We have another force of giant plants in our hand. There's a Abyssal hand for 2. And let's see. My opponent will Unseen Claw for the knockout, doing a ton of damage, going down to 4. But let's see what he takes. Probably a laser, and then maybe a grass energy, maybe an herbal energy. Herbal energy would be better for us because he can attach to Jirachi. Which ones are you taking? Can is really not useful. Okay, so he takes. Yes, he did take an herbal energy. So instead of Seismitoad, okay. Alright, guys. On our turn, we find a Ultra Ball. So I'm gonna Lysandre up this guy. Oh man. I really. Okay, so now I'm just gonna Quake Punch right now. Okay, we'll Quake Punch for 30. Alright, next turn I can Ultra Ball, discard Juniper, and hopefully something else to get a Decidueye. Start hitting these guys for 20. There's another Spinner coming down, okay. And let's see, where does he put this grass? So you put a grass into this bench and pass onto our turn. That's fine to me. We're going to Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2 to grab, okay, Rowlet, come on down. Oh my goodness, we have no more Dartrix either. So grab Rowlet, we'll put that guy down, put down Forest, and we'll Juniper, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Alright, so we can Love Ball for another Rowlet. But really, what I really need is a Revitalize. Put that guy down. We'll put down Rowlet. Put down Rowlet. And what we're going to do is Grass into the Dartrix, and I'm going to Quake Punch for 30 damage. Alright, so my opponent's turn, I'm going to draw a card. But what I really need next turn is I need to start hitting these Sceptiles, okay? So another Grass into that guy, okay. Pass on our turn, alright. We find it, Ultra Ball, so there's nothing we dig for right now. We get Karen to put those guys back in our deck, okay. I'm going to Ultra Ball. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 140 times 2 is a knockout. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2 to grab a Decidueye. Okay. Put down Decidueye. I'm going to Feather the Sceptile with everything on it, which is this guy. And I will Quake Punch for the knockout. Alright. So go down to 5. We find a Float Stone, okay. Now, if he finds an Ariados, he can take a knockout this turn. Unseen Claw will only do 140, which is not enough for knockout, okay. What I'm scared of is if you put an Herbal Energy in the active and heal it, there's Herbal Energy on that bench guy, okay. Does he find an Ariados? So now go to Unseen Claw for 140. Alright, so on our turn, I am going to Feather Arrow the active. Grass Energy of Rowlet, and play in and put down 4 new cards. Alright, we're looking for a Float Stone. Alright, the Super Rod, don't care about that too much. Alright, so I'm going to Quake Punch for 30. So he has how much? 140. Alright, so next turn we can't do the cool play. What we might have to start doing is Razor Leafing. It's probably our best option, for sure. But we gotta find a DC, which is the thing that's gonna hurt us a lot. He will go down to 2 prize cards, but we get him down to 2. So Unseen Claw for the knockout. Okay, 140, whatever. Alright, so it goes down to 2 prize cards. We're going to send him to Decidueye. We're going to end him down to 2, and hopefully it sticks. We got to find a DC, though. That's the key. So send him to Decidueye. On our turn, what do we find? We find a Dartrix. So we'll be a Seeker for an N. And hopefully with this N, we find a DC. We only get 5 cards. So let's see, do we find one? And we don't find one right now. Okay. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard Revitalizer Juniper to grab a Shaymin. Okay. There is 2 DCs here, so grab Shaymin. We'll put a Float Stone down on Seismitoad, and we'll Shaymin for 5 new cards. We're looking for a DCE to start using Razor Leaf. And we find one. Alright, so put a DC active. We will go for Razor Leaf. Oh, we haven't Feather Arrow. Someone does Feather Arrow, hit a Spinnerack for 20. Alright. And we will use Razor Leaf for 90 damage. Alright, so Ariados can't poison us. His only option is to use Laser. Okay. But if he hits a Lysandre, we lose. So Sceptile coming down, okay. Professor are going to search for 2 Grass Energies. Alright, don't care about that really. So 2 Grass Energies going to his hand. Okay, so my plan right now is to Lysandre this guy. It has a 1 retreat cost. He has another grass in his hand, so that's not going to work. So 1 grass in his hand. What is this other card? I don't know. So Pokemon Salinity healing 60 off the active. Alright, but we can still knock it out. We can Decidueye plus a Rage Leaf for the knockout. Sleep Poison. Oh no, we're asleep now. Alright, tell us, we're not asleep. Thank the Lord. So we will Feather Arrow the active for 20. And then we will Razor Leaf for the knockout, alright? So we go down to 3 price cards. So 1 and 2. Can we find double Dartrix? And we find a Dartrix and a Decidueye. Alright, so there we go. So here comes Sceptile. Owns our opponent's turn. We know 1 card is a Grass Energy. I'm not sure what the other card is. So a Grass Energy going to that guy. And a Love Ball for an Ariados, most likely. But Ariados doesn't matter to us. Where does he put Ariados at? That's my main question. What's his retreat cost? 1 retreat cost, unfortunately. Okay. We can put down Dartrix, Decidueye. So heads, we do go Night-Night. Oh no, that's a problem. Alright. So heads, we wake up. Oh, we're poisoned now. Okay, we're poisoned. We gotta watch out because we can lose next turn. So put down Dartrix. Put down Decidueye. Oh no, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We're in trouble. Oh no, we're in trouble. Alright, so I'm going to retreat into the Decidueye via Seeker for a Lysandre. Okay. I am going to Lysandre this guy. I'm going to Feather Arrow this guy. One of these guys for 20, 40, 60, 80. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, so I'm going to hit this guy for 20. Hit the same guy for 20. Alright. And I'm going to use Hollow Hunt to put 3 cards in our... Yes, that's fine. That is fine. So grab Computer Search. Via Seeker, via Seeker. Let's grab a DCE. Let's get a Computer Search. We'll grab 2 via Seekers and DCE. Alright. So there we go. I think this is a better play. Alright. Those cards come in our hand. On to our opponent's turn. Gonna draw a card. Alright, so my play next turn is to smack this guy for a knockout. Just trying to figure out where to take all prize cards. That's probably a bad way to play that hand. I don't know. We could have knocked it out, but then I'm scared he Lysandres. He has 1 card in his hand, so he can't Lysandre plus some stuff this turn, so we're looking okay. So there's a Lysandre. Gonna bring up a Seismitoad, but that's okay. I mean, he can poison us. Who cares about that? So Poison's Nest, I don't care about this. We can just retreat out of it. Alright. That was kind of a waste of a Lysandre. So on our turn, what do we get? We get a DCE, okay. So I'm going to Feather Arrow, hit this guy. I'm gonna Feather Arrow, hit that guy again. Okay. Go down to 2 price cards. There is a Rowlet. That's not what I wanted. We are going to retreat into a Decidueye. And I think we take a knockout here with Razor Leaf. Okay. Alright, because I don't think he can win next turn. He can't Lysandre plus stuff this turn, so that's fine. We'll go down to one price card, and oh no, it's still not what I want. I wanted our other Dartrix. So let's see who decides to send up. I mean, he really can't win a game this turn. It's almost impossible. I don't think he can. Unseen Claw does not take a knock on anybody. Sidestow's not poisoned. Nobody's poisoned. He can't poison anybody this turn. One card in his hand, and it looks like we might be able to beat this deck. There's a Sleep Poison for 10. Tails, we do not go to Night Night. On our turn, we will Feather Arrow the bench for 20. Feather Arrow the bench for another 20. Okay. Alright, so there's 90 HP left, so now we can be a Seeker for a Lysandre, bring up that Sceptile, and we'll win this game. Wow. We had multiple Dartrix surprise, but we still won the game, and that's why Decidueye is so strong. Like, we had an auto loss, and we still somehow beat it. I mean, I know it was like, if this was like a Shaymin version, we probably would have auto loss, because like, this is why like Artillery is not very good either, because it's always an easy Lysandre target. Let's look at our opponent's deck real quick. I mean, he was playing, like, he played 3-in, a Lysandre, a Team Skullgrunt. Like, he played good cards. It was just hit bad cards over and over again, which is very good for us. I mean, he did play heavy item locking cards, or item cards. Played a 1-1 Octillery, so once we knocked that out, it was gone. Then we knocked out the 2-2 Ariados. We got rid of all the Ariados off the field. And there we go, guys. There is the Seismitoad Decidueye deck. We took down the Sceptile EX deck. I mean, like, probably one of the worst matchups, but that's how strong Decidueye is. You can just, depending on the situation, you tackle different attackers, and you get to go. If it's not a grass deck, you can use, like, you know, you just punch and use Decidueye, and you can see how the math kind of worked out, where I hit the bench and then licensed the Sceptile and kind of stuck it there for a little while we wanted to take a knockout on that Sceptile later on. But guys, there we go. Hopefully this episode of Expanded Thursday. Which one is better, Decidueye or Crobat? I don't know. I'm starting to lean more towards Decidueye for sure. It seems a lot better than Crobat than last week. I didn't struggle as much. I will say that both decks don't lose to Junkon really bad. Like Sableye, Garbodor is probably a really bad matchup for both sides of the field. But besides that, Trevenant's another iffy matchup. I'm not sure which one is better equipped for Trevenant. I want to say Decidueye is a little bit better for the Trevenant matchup because your Decidueyes have so much more HP. But then your item lock, it's hard to find them. But if you can find multiple Decidueyes against Trevenant, you should have a better time than you do with Crobat and Golbat because they only have so much HP. One Decidueye has 240, which is very hard to take a knockout. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video of Expanded Thursday. Maybe you learned something new about Sidestowed Decidueye. I know I did. I realized that it's a better deck than what I was given it. I do think it's a really strong deck for sure. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty. Bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.